Good morning, everyone. This is my thought for the day, my guidepost. It's based on the 29th chapter of the Tao Te Ching, and it's called An Unfolding Life. A vessel of perfection, yours an unfolding life, always unerring in direction, with no need to strive. Some days ahead, some days behind, a time to use your vigor and a time to rest your mind. Don't always play safe, sometimes be more keen, but nothing extravagant, excessive, or extreme. Life's not to grasp, to control, or to improve. You're here to breathe in and out, but mainly here to love. Your life is sacred. There is no need to lose. Just let your life unfold. It's the best way to move. So, as usual, the Tao Te Ching has great wisdom, and there is within humanity a desire to force the issue, to make things happen the way you want them to happen, when you want them to happen. But in this chapter, this verse of the Tao Te Ching, 29, it's suggesting that your life, it's like the petals of a rose. It's unfolding. It's bit by bit becoming what it should be, and that there's no need to strive, to rush about, to make things happen, because things are going to be the way that they were meant to be eventually, not now. And if you get in contact with your higher self, with the depths of your soul, with your gut reaction, if you become aware of that rather than the endless thoughts that go through your mind, then you will see that process. It's a bit strange, isn't it? If you take a picture every few seconds of a rose in the morning, opening, unfolding, you wouldn't see it normally. You just look at the rose and go, oh, "That's a beautiful rose." But if you just saw it in 3-second bursts, like a video that's moving on, you go, "Wow, that's amazing! What's happening there?" And that's how we are as human beings. We think that we haven't progressed very far because we're in the moment, and we should be in the moment. It's correct to be in the moment. But if you look back to where you were maybe a few years ago and where you are now, and what wisdom you've gained in that time, you'd be aware that you yourself have been growing, you've been unfolding, you've because this happened, that happened, and because that happened, now I'm here. It would be quite a beautiful journey, but maybe when the actual events were happening, it wasn't very pleasant. Now there was irritation, like the forming of a pearl. That the way that a pearl is formed is by a little bit of sand getting inside the oyster shell, and then it's very uncomfortable, and it's the actual dealing with the uncomfort that creates the pearl. So this is what is happening in each of our lives, that as we progress through our days and weeks and months and years, we become something that we probably didn't set out to be, but what we were always intended to be all the same. A vessel of perfection. Now, there's nothing wrong with you. Everybody wants, because you don't fit in to the way they see the world, they say that there's something wrong with you. But there's nothing wrong with any one of us. Each one of us has our own path to walk. And in the walking of that path, yes, there will be judgment. Other people will look on and say, "Well, I wouldn't do it that way." But only you know what's right for your life. And one of the most beautiful moments of my life when when I became a coach, because prior to that I'd been an evangelist, and the evangelist comes round and is prescriptive and tells you this is what you need to do to get your life to have the best results. You follow the maker's instructions, but the maker's instructions weren't written in a Bible that was interpreted, sometimes misinterpreted by others for you. The Bible was written so that you could understand it from your own perspective, so it could speak to you if you read it at all. And if you don't read the Bible or any other holy book for that matter, it's in your heart, it's written inside you. And so when I became a coach, I was, well, what is it that you want out of your life? Where is it you want to go? And not everybody knows where they want to go with their life. And then you're in that discovery journey with them. What is it that turns them on, that makes them feel alive? Because that's where you know that you're on track. When you find the thing that makes you feel most alive and you pursue that, that is your higher calling. I would call it that. You know, it's the calling of the higher part of you, the part of you that relates to the spiritual world, and therefore you are a vessel of perfection. Your life's unfolding. You may take a wrong turn. It's like if you go on a journey, if you have somewhere in mind, if you, and it's in your DNA, and it's in the depths of your soul, it's in the dust of your soul. One of my other points, it's in the dust of your soul. It's in the very nature of you being here, what you're supposed to be. The rose doesn't have to work it out. The rose just unfolds. The rose doesn't need to remember anything. It just becomes what it was supposed to be. So there's no pressure on you, on this path, on the way to where your life is meant to be, an unerring in direction. There's no need to strive. You don't have to worry about it. You just have to be. You just have to exist. You've got to be true to yourself and true to your inner guidance and calling, and to find people who will help you to do that. People who are on that same journey, who are themselves listening to their own higher calling, and they're supportive of you, and you can be supportive of them as they go their way. And maybe your paths will diverge at some point, but while ever you're in the same time space, you can help each other. And it's true, isn't it? We've got days behind us and days in front of us, and there's times when you need to use the energy that you've got in a time where you're being catapulted forward. Maybe the rose is opening a little bit more quickly today. Maybe the rain came, I don't know, and made the rose not open as quickly, and then as soon as the rain stops, it catches up to where it was supposed to be. But there's also a time to rest, like when the rain came. And then it's like there is another part of our humanity that wants us to just be a bit careful, look before you leap. And it always makes me smile, that look before you leap, but he who hesitates is lost. So these uncertainties that we feel, and it's real, but if you know that it's from deep within you, from your gut instinct, from when you know it's something you should do, just go and do it. Don't play safe. And sometimes be keen about, I've got to do this, push yourself forward at that time when it's like, there's something stopping me within me that's stopping me from unfolding. I'm sure that the rose never experiences that, but where possibly more aware than a flower. I hope so. And so sometimes our own intelligence stops us, or our own programming, should I say, stops us from moving forward. And sometimes you've got to break through that programming and that projection that you felt from other people who meant well. It's not that they were trying to do you a disservice, but it isn't what you're here for. So you need sometimes to be a little bit keener, but not extravagant. You don't need to make a big hullabaloo about it. Nothing excessive or extreme, because life isn't to grasp. It isn't something that there are people who grasp at things that are trying to make things happen in their own time, in their own way, by their own will. You don't need to grasp. You don't need to control. You don't need to improve yourself, because just breathing in and out is what you're here for, but mainly to love. And the final verse, I'm commenting on the verses as I'm reading them to myself here. There's something very sacred about your life and mine. We've got to remember that there's a beauty in just being ourselves. There's a divine plan. We are divinity clothed in humanity. You'll hear me say that many times. It's sacred. This life that you've got, it's a wonderful thing. It's not, oh, well, I'll have to this and have to do that and got to go here, got to go there. It's sacred. It's the calling within inside you. Once you connect with it, once you're connecting with that higher self, then you know that your life's sacred. You know that there's certain things that you're here to do. Personally, mainly to love, but personally, you have your own personal individualistic calling, and there's no need to lose. So let that life of yours, let that life of mine unfold, because really it's the best way to live out this life. I'm going to read my poem again. I'm going to wish you a wonderful day today, or whenever you watch this. And this is an unfolding life, and it's based on the 29th verse of the Tao Te Ching. I wrote it back in 2019. A vessel of perfection, yours an unfolding life, always unerring in direction, with no need to strive. Some days ahead, some days behind, a time to use your vigor and a time to rest your mind. Don't always play safe, sometimes be more keen, but nothing extravagant, excessive, or extreme. Life's not to grasp, to control, or to improve. You're here to breathe in and out, but mainly here to love. Your life is sacred. There's no need to lose. Just let your life unfold. It's the best way to move. Namaste.